It's a source of deep anger among the Tuareg rebels. Civilians crossing the border into Mauritania almost every week with wounds and stories of torture and killing by the Malian army. These men tell Al Jazeera how they spent days in chains while being beaten and verbally abused. They say soldiers arrested them in the desert while they were herding their sheep, accusing them of being rebels. One of their colleagues is in a critical condition and is being treated in a local medical center. Across the border in northern Mali, members of the National Movement for the Liberation of Azawad and their allies in the High Council for the Unity of Azawad are in a permanent state of readiness.
Mali kills and jails our shepherds and forces us to pay ransom for them, just like what Al-Qaeda does to Europeans. Mali hasn't got a single one of our fighters in jail. They can arrest only innocent, unarmed civilians, but they showcase them as rebels or terrorists.
A peace agreement with the Malian government that was signed in June stipulated that the rebels gather in specific areas and store their weapons, in return for guarantees that the army would not attack them. But the rebels say the army violated that deal last month when it attacked a rebel camp near the Mauritanian border.
We respected the peace agreement fully, ceasefire, elections and all. But the Malian military has attacked us, and its spokesman described us as bandits and robbers. Now you can see that we're not a bunch of criminals, and if Mali chooses to ignore us, then it doesn't want peace.
The recent alleged violations seem to have motivated the rebels in their fight for an independent state. Today, the political leaders of the rebels seem to concede that the idea of an independent state in the north is now a remote possibility in the future. But if you ask people on the ground, and particularly these rebels behind me, they tell you they can't accept anything less than total independence for Azawad. Autonomy or independence? Deep in the bush, the rebels are entrenched and bracing for the next fight. For them, the truce with Mali is too shaky to rely upon. But it's the people in this area who are suffering most. They live difficult lives, having to fetch water from 100 meters below the ground and having to fend for themselves in the absence of any services or any protection from the central government. Mohamed Vall, Al Jazeera, Northern Mali.